All right, so we might have ourselves a daddy-uncle situation on our hands here.
Oh, a dunkle. Those dreaded dunkles.
So there's a rumor flying around her family right now that her uncle is actually her father. So she's not exactly sure if she wants to find out for sure or not.
Dear Bert Show, I'm in my 20s and I was raised by my mom and dad who are married and have been since I was 3. There's never been a question about my dad. But recently, my extended family has been telling me there's been rumors that my uncle is really my dad. The problem is my uncle passed away a year ago and had never mentioned this to me, but has told everyone else he thought he was my dad. His daughter, which is my cousin and my absolute best friend, came to me and has asked me to do a sibling test to find out the truth. My mom and dad don't know I'm doing this and don't know anything about the rumors in the family. Should I do the DNA test or not? Since my uncle is gone, it makes me feel like he didn't want to know since he never told me.
So it's her sisters that are asking her to do this,
Her
right?
cousin.
Her cousin.
Her cousin wants her to do. There's specific tests you can do. My best friend just went through this because there's a woman that popped up in her DMs. And I'm not kidding you, just a couple years ago. And she's like, I'm pretty sure I'm your sister. And they took the DNA test. And sure enough, when you look at it, it can tell you how close you are in DNA. And they're sisters.
So would there be any health benefit for the cousin making the request, or she just being kind of nosy and just wants to know?
This is all nosy. This is
it's just nosy.
It's just family. So,
Huh?
but that doesn't matter. She wants to know, like, should I do the DNA test or not? Is this something I want to know, whether or not my uncle is actually my dad?
Nope.
Yeah. There you have it.
I would stay away from this one. I mean, it just feels like with the uncle being gone, I mean, you can't really get any answers from him, and he can't defend himself in the situation. The family obviously doesn't want you to know. If they raised me, these two people who I consider my mom and dad since I was 3, and that's all I've ever known in my life, for me personally, I would be good with that, and I wouldn't go shaking that tree up. I wouldn't want to know any more than I know now.
And I'm pissed at the extended family. I don't care if she's in her 20s. She's still the kid in this situation. So, like, you're talking behind mom and dad's back, but you go to the kid and tell the kid this information. Like, that's stuff you go to the parents with. Like, hey, everybody in the family's talking about how they think your daughter is not really your daughter, but it's Uncle Bob's over here.
Oh, I would want to know this information. Like, if this turns out to be true and my parents really kept this information from me, that my mom was stepping out on my dad and had an affair, you're setting me up for a life of not knowing my complete medical history. You've set me up for a life of trust issues, because what else is everybody else lying about? If it is just a rumor, then you're going to do the DNA test and you're going to find out everything's fine. But if for some reason you do take the DNA test and you find out some information, I've got a lot of questions for my family.
Yeah, you raised some really good points, but in this case, I don't think the truth will set you free. I think the truth is just going to make things so much more complicated. The health issue that you're talking about, or the medical reasons, I can understand, but the rest of it, man, especially when he's not around anymore and you can't truly get closure, ooh, I would run.
But you already have access to the health information because he's your uncle. That's your dad's brother. So it's like it's already in the family.
But there's still things that are specific to different sides of the family. Like, especially if he's not related to you know what I mean? Like, if you're more like your dad's side of the family, it might not even matter. But if you were more like your that side of the family, I just think it's so bizarre that you wouldn't want to know. Like, wouldn't want to know who your biological dad was, even though I don't know. It's something I wouldn't be able to sleep at night with, knowing there's a possibility.
What's how much stock you're going to put in rumor? Because this is like your family talking, and maybe there's some truth to it, maybe it's not. But somebody comes to me with zero proof, and they just like, it's a hunch that, like, if he would have came to me, the dead uncle, then that's a different story. The other family chirping, and like I've like families that chirp, I'm like, don't get in my head and don't like plant these seeds.
I hear you.
But I would tell my parents so they know what the family's saying behind their back.
I would do
Maybe
that.
so.
Yeah, I would do that for sure.
Yep.
But that's as far as I'm going.
And you'd be able to tell by some looks in the face if it's true or not.
Oh, if you sit your mom and dad down and be like, yeah, everybody's saying that Uncle Bob is my real dad, I think instantly you'll be able to tell by
Yes.
you won't even need to spend time spitting in a cup.
No.
You got your answer right there.
The Bert Show.